Thanks for tuning in to an all-new episode of Blitz. I'm your host, Brian Carter. We're going to lead off today's show at Habersham Central with Lady Raiders head softball coach Stephanie Thomas. Stephanie, as always, we appreciate having you on Blitz.
Thank you for letting me be here.
Now, as it stands right now, you're 11-6 and 7-3 in region play. You got to be happy about that. But what was it like for you as a coach to sit back and watch your team get off to such a hot start? You started out the season 6-0 and 4-0 in region play, which, you know, in 2010 you got off to a 9-1 start. In 2005 you got off to an 8-1 start. But what is that like?
Well, anytime you can get ahead, it's just like in batting. Anytime you can get ahead, that's exactly what you want to do. But, it's a good feeling. It builds confidence. It let our girls know that, we're here. We're going to play as hard as we can, and we can compete. We're going to get out there and we're going to compete with the teams that we go up against.
Yeah, and again, you go up against some of the best teams in the state. You're in the highest classification in the state of Georgia, 7-6A. Last year you went 3-4 in that region. Talk about what benefit, if there is any, and last year playing a sub-region schedule, this year playing a full region schedule.
Well, I guess that if I had to say that there's a benefit, it's the fact that you get to see each other twice. If you play well, then we know we've got to continue with that. If we don't, if we lose, then we know that we've got another chance at them. That would be the benefit. Plus, you get to see them once. You kind of see what they've got to offer. Of course, they get to see what we have to offer too. So, really and truly, it's a game, and our job is to go out there and play it to the very best of our ability and to compete and execute. And if we do all those things, then at the end of the night, we hold our heads high.
Now, kind of going off that question, last year was the first year in 7-6A for Habersham, and that's a big jump going from 4A to 6A. How do you feel like last season kind of prepared the girls mentally and kind of, being able to go out there and compete with those teams this season?
Well, if you looked at our schedule and looked at who we played, obviously we started out rough, and we knew that we would. Well, not that we knew that we would. It's just the fact that we knew we were going to have to compete. We played a little scared. As we got our feet underneath us and we figured out, hey, we're just as good as the next team, then, we started playing better. And towards the end of the year, we had Mill Creek in our playoffs 2-1. We played them extremely well. I was extremely proud of our girls. And that set the precedence for them to know, hey, we're just as good as they are. We can get out there and play with them. We just got to execute.
And you have a really solid core of players on this year's team. As it seems like you always do have quite a bit of standout players. And this year, notably, you have a couple of hitters that at one point or another were around 600 batting average. I don't know where they're at right now, but you got Georgia Webb and Hannah Adams. Talk about those two in particular, how they've kind of set the bar really high for this offense.
Well, Georgia's our leadoff hitter, and she has been. This is her 4th year. She's a senior. And we do. I'm not going to lie. We rely on her. She sets the tone. She's very, very mental about the game. She's all about the game when it's game time, and we know that when it comes time, she's going to produce. And I guess that's what I'm trying to say. If there's anybody that's got to be in a tough spot, you want Georgia to be in that, because she's going to handle it with ease. She's very mature in the way she plays. She's very confident in her abilities. And that comes from being, a seasoned player. But she is in our leadoff position. We know, she's going to put the ball in play, whether she's out or safe. It doesn't, we know she's going to put the ball in play, and it's going to be a good hard hit.
And she's also done very well this season in the circle, picking up a handful of wins. Talk about her ability to keep you in contention throughout the game, not just batting but also pitching, and how pleased you are with the way the defense has been playing as well.
Well, she has. She's one of 4 pitchers that we've got, and obviously we do not have that number 1 pitcher that just comes in and throws the ball and blows everybody away. But we do have 4 that have come in the circle. Sometimes they go the whole entire game. Sometimes they don't, but they work well together. They're very supportive, and I think that has been one of the main pluses to our defense is they are very supportive of one another, and they know, hey, I might not can do it, but somebody else can. So, let's just get out there and do the best we can.
Now, you got just a handful of games remaining on the slate before you open up the region tournament, and you mentioned Mill Creek, and last year that was a heartbreaking 1-0 loss to end your season and give you guys that early exit. And I know you don't want to see that again this year, but what motivated the girls coming into this season? Was there any motivation from that game that kind of left a bad taste in their mouth?
I don't know if there was necessarily motivation from that one game. It's just we have several girls that play travel ball. They play against those girls, and I think it was just a step to let them know, hey, we can play with them. You know, we just got to be on our game, and our main goal this year was to compete. You know, to get out here and let these other teams know that we're competitive and we're going to hold our own. And win or lose, like I said before, at the end of the night, we're going to hold our heads high. And if, you know, we get the win, then that's awesome for us. But if we've played hard and we don't, then, you know, we've done the very best that we can because we prepare every single day that we're not playing. We do everything that we can to set the tone for our girls to be successful.
Well, Stephanie, thank you so much again for your time on Blitz. We appreciate it and look forward to seeing you get the girls back in the state playoffs this year.
Thank you.
Now, when we come back, a short break, and then we have two of the Lady Raiders here on Blitz.